just wanted to hop on and share my thoughts about this book that I've just finished, To Paradise by Yanagihara. I am very late to this book, I know. I can only imagine how much it was talked about on Bookstagram and on BookTube. I haven't looked at any reviews or talk on those platforms. I haven't searched or anything for it. I really went into this book cold. I have opened up this book at the library before, read the first couple pages of that first section, which is set in 1893, and thought, oh, I have to read this book, but not now. It's it's a commitment. I saw this book on the table at the library last week and picked it up and just thought, yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to try it. I started reading it. I'm not going to explain in detail what the book is about because I know I'm late to the party, and probably everybody that's in book loving land already knows the structure. But the book is starts in 1893, and then the middle part's 1993, and then the end is 2043 and 2093. And I just love the writing from the beginning. I was completely into the 1893 story, completely fascinated from the beginning. I am not somebody who reads dystopian writing. I might have a little bit in my youth, but I don't even know that you'd call it dystopian, other than it was just a world that was being built by the author, like The Hobbit, for instance. I don't think that's considered dystopian. But I got a little lost in the middle section because I spent too much time trying to figure out how the middle section was going to be connected with the beginning. I did feel like I should get out a whiteboard marker on my whiteboard and start drawing the connections between the 1893 story and the middle story, because there are similar names to the characters, and I felt like the connection between the generations was going to be important. But I would say to myself, reading it a second time, not to do that, to just enjoy the story. I really did enjoy the second section after I just let go of trying to connect everything. And then the third section, Into the Future, I just found fascinating and disheartening about what if our future was to look like that. I loved the writing. The first section was definitely my favorite section. The way that she created an alternate 1893, the way that she created how the Civil War ended and what happened to the United States. I love the maps in the front and the back of the book. If you want a really good and thorough review of this book, if somehow you have, like me, you have managed to not read any reviews and not pay attention to when this book was released, then I have since read the review in the New York Times, and The Atlantic and The Guardian had a good article. So I would highly recommend those. I loved going into it cold. I loved not having any knowledge or expectation about it at all. I will read this book again. I do want to read A Little Life. I owned A Little Life years ago, and then I must have just called it at some point because I never got into it. I don't even know why. So this leaves me with no fiction at this point in progress. I do have nonfiction in progress. I did finish this book, Cheapland, Colorado, which I'll talk about later. Excellent, excellent. I loved it. But I have some holds at the library. They're again all coming in at once. So a few fiction books there to pick up. But I just wanted to share my Yanagihara experience with all of you. So thanks. Oh, and sorry, I would love to hear your experience of this book. That was one of the things that I thought of when I finished this, was because I missed the party and I didn't read the feedback when I was when I'm on Bookstagram, because I just joined like 5 months ago, and also the same thing with BookTube. I would love if you've read this book to let me know what your experience has been, and if you read her first book. I'm also curious about that one too. I've heard plenty about A Little Life, whether I've tried to escape it or not, but thanks for listening.